We're getting caked up today. I've been putting up 315 like it was kind of like nothing ever since high school. Things still feel very precarious, and that's the only way I know how to describe it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Jacked and Pilled. I'm your host, the Natty Crusader, John Collins, and we're getting caked up today because it's leg day, brother! I'm looking forward to legs today. The main event of today is going to be back squats. I haven't hit back squats in a good probably 3+ weeks. 2 weeks before my show, I had a leg day where I was doing the back squats and it didn't go very well at all. Like my all-time for back squats was 455 for a set of 8. The depth was probably just missing a couple inches, but I was still moving weight. And at the very least, I have videos of me hitting 405 for a pretty clean 10. But then that workout 3 weeks ago that I'm referencing, I died on like rep 6 with 315, so I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to course correct here. The squat is one of my favorite movements. I've never been able to push crazy numbers on barbell bench press or deadlifts, but my strong movement was always the back squat. Having that get taken from me, physically forcibly taken from me during contest prep was really hard for me to handle, and I'm glad to kind of be out of this and in a position to where I can start putting up some weight again. And I know that with bodybuilding, it's more about looking strong than being strong, but I will never complain about pushing heavy weight because it's cool as fuck. Now, realistically, am I going to be pushing a whole lot more than 315 on squat? Maybe not, but I'm going to try and add some serious freaking reps onto that bar. Diet over this past week has been pretty good. For the first week coming out of the show, I was hit with some of the most violent, aggressive cravings I've ever had in my life. And ever since like high school, I've been super disciplined. That's been my thing. Whether I was bulking or restricting calories and cutting, I was always able to stick to macros without any problem. It was simply mind over matter. You just follow the numbers on paper and you do it. Contest prep is next level, a totally different animal than a conventional lifestyle health purpose cut, because not only was my body fat so low leaving me hungry, my hormones are all messed up, and then once I had my cheat meal and finally got like good volumes of food in me again, I just wanted to keep going and going and going and going. Like I said, the weekend after my show, I put down 15,000 calories in like a day and a half, which is freaking crazy. But ever since the initial week of struggle, I've been doing pretty good. Here and there, I still get these cravings. Last night, I was looking through TikToks of like Sonic drive-thru and whatnot, just because, but it's not nearly as much of an issue as it was like really close to the show. I'm pretty good now. And the whole cravings thing isn't nearly as bad as it was peak cut, because sure, I'm a little hungry and have cravings here and there, but it's not that painful chronic hunger like it used to be. And then at the same time, I'm a lot more energetic than I was, so I don't feel like drained plus hungry. It's just pretty well fueled, but then there's a little bit of hunger on top of that. With my leg days, I'm more or less going back to the basics here. I'm starting today with some calf raises, and I'm gonna hit some adductors, some laying hamstring curls. I'm gonna hit the big back squat for one heavy set and then one pullback set, and then I'm gonna tear up some leg extensions, and that's just about gonna be it. Probably ever since 2020, my legs have been a strong point on my physique, and I didn't even do anything fancy to grow them. It was just squatting heavy, and really pushing myself. And there were a lot of times where I'd only have like one leg day per week, so I never went too crazy on volume, because there is such a thing as overtraining, and truthfully, more is not always better, even if you are in a calorie surplus and you're trying to bulk. Things are looking up, things are going good, and I'm ready to tear up some freaking squats, so I'm gonna see you guys in there. Moment of truth here. So we're already warmed up. I hit the adductors, hamstring curls, and then I warmed up with squats. Warm-ups were feeling pretty good so far. I mean, I was able to hit like a really easy 8 with 275. I'm still just going to cap it at 315 just for the sake of being safe, but I'm pretty confident I can hit more than 6 today. Like I said, last time I hit 6, I like died. It was super hard, but I feel like we got like 8 to 10 in the bag today. I mean, especially just since we're carved up, we got more energy. I'm running on like 9.5 hours of sleep. I think we can do this. Like I've I've touched on before, out of all of my movements, this is the one that used to be a strong one for me. Like, I've been putting up 315 like it was kind of like nothing ever since high school. So once I had that like bad leg day a few weeks ago, it like really hit me hard, psychologically speaking. So it's gonna be nice to redeem myself, so to speak. We're wrapping up here. I already found a spot for my camera. I guess all there is to do is set up this camera facing that way, tighten my belt, and then just hope for the best here. Well, that was a damn good leg workout. I enjoyed every moment of that. And it's been a while since I've been able to say that. Like I said, I used to love leg day. Leg day used to be one of my favorite days of the week, and the back squat specifically was my favorite exercise. I haven't been able to enjoy it for so long because contest prep took that from me. I always talked about how it zapped my energy, it gave me a bunch of cravings, it took away all my favorite foods, it took away some other kinds of energy, if you catch my drift, but I never mentioned how contest prep took away my love for the back squat, brother. As great as this past week out of contest prep has been, or past 2 weeks I should say, pumps are great again. We've made the pumps great again, which is awesome, but generally energy throughout the day and throughout the week is still kind of up and down. I still feel like my testosterone is probably not as high as it was. My hormones still generally feel a little bit out of whack, so that's still something we're dealing with, and it's probably going to be a good few weeks before that's totally back to a normal baseline again. I will say though, I have reestablished the upwards trend of my physical performance, because for a while I talked about during the cutting season, I hit this baseline and I held this baseline for a while, and then coming up close to the show, my strength and performance just started tanking, and then now we're on the way back up, and it's a really cool thing to be able to experience that again, to check my workout logs and see, oh, I just did 1 or 2 extra reps with this weight than I did last week, as opposed to what I was doing before, which was 1 or 2 reps less than I did the week before. There is kind of a dark side to all this that I'll talk about. I've seen a few people on the internet talk about it, but it's very easy to develop like a binge eating habit coming out of a bodybuilding show, because after all those months of restriction, we've talked about kind of the hormonal or physiological damage that this can do to your body, especially as a natural athlete, but the psychological damage is still kind of there too. I don't mean to be too dramatic about it, but now that the chains are off, so to speak, and now that I don't have a show that I'm working towards, or there's no reason why I have to be show ready lean or constantly getting leaner and leaner every day, that voice in the back of my head telling me to go tear up the Pop-Tarts in my pantry, or the rice cakes, or just start drinking honey and maple syrup, or whatever other kind of food might be in there, like cereal or mini wheats or whatever, that voice of food temptation is just getting louder and louder. And it's weird because day to day, even though I'm eating maintenance right now, even though I'm generally not that hungry throughout the day, I'll finish a meal that will make me feel somewhat kind of full, but there's still this like response, or there's still this mechanism in my brain that is making me feel like I still have to or want to eat more. Here and there I'll nibble on something like fruit just to set my mind at ease, or the big thing that I've been doing lately is like the 0-calorie shaved ice, which has been a lifesaver. But like I said, there's a dark side to all this, and this could very easily go bad. I couldn't tell you how many times I've been close to just saying it and just participating in an all-out binge. A binge similar to what I did like right after my show. Now, like, what exactly am I gonna do to like get out of this headspace? I don't know. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I suspect that when I'm deeper into the growing phase and I'm having to eat more and more and getting tired of food, then I feel like this kind of thing will stop and subside, but I guess time will tell. And I will say, truthfully, it's a very scary place to be in. Basically, my entire like fitness journey starting at 12 years old up until until like right before my bodybuilding show, which was a time span of about 10 years, my discipline was something I always very, very much prided myself on. I always knew that whatever the plan was, whether it was growing or whether it was cutting down, I could stick to it. If it was written on paper and I knew what the goal was, I had the goal in mind, I could stick to it and nothing would freaking stop me. Best way that I think I can articulate this whole experience is that for 10 years, I was walking along this bridge, this nice, wide, safe, stable bridge with these real big safety rails. And then ever since my bodybuilding show, that bridge shrunk and became all narrow. So instead of this bridge where I could freely walk around and make progress forward, it's narrow. Now one foot's got to go over the other and I got to walk all carefully or else I'm going to fall off the bridge. And then on top of that, those safety rails that I had the option of holding on to are totally gone now. So now I have to be even more careful and stick my arms out like this, like I'm walking the tightrope. And then on top of that, the foundation of the bridge, the thing that made it stable to begin with, now those are gone. So now not only is it like I'm walking along this tightrope here, now the bridge is shaking and it feels like the littlest thing could just whoosh, throw me right off the bridge. And I know that sounds dramatic, and it kind of is because I'm still sticking to my meal plan and my macros with minor slip-ups throughout the week. Things still feel very precarious, and that's the only way I know how to describe it. But listen, brother, I'm gonna make it through, and so are you. Just keep pushing. And even though that's tough, there's a lot of other fun things coming up in the near future. Like it's August, or should I say October. Halloween's coming up, and I am so freaking excited for that. Spirit Halloweens are opening up now. I'm definitely gonna go visit those. And on top of that, Jacked and Pilled may or may not be launching some Halloween merchandise very, very soon. If you thought these shirts were cool, the Day of the Shred shirt, for example, which is very cool, wait till you see the Halloween ones, because they're gonna be up to par with what I got here. And if you do like this shirt, and if you like this cool ass Jacked and Pilled hat, you can get your very own at jacked-pilled-shop.fourthwall.com. Support a Natty-owned business and pick up your Jacked and Pilled merchandise today, brother. But thank you for watching this episode of Jacked and Pilled. I've been the Natty Crusader, John Collins. If you like this video, please drop a like, drop a comment, hit that bell so you're notified whenever Jacked and Pilled uploads a new video, brother. That's going to be all for me tonight, and I'll see you next time.